20th Century Fox presents the motion picture event of the summer. The summer of 1125 AD.
That's him!
Robin Hood.
Good evening.
The Hoods from the Woods are back.
Yo, yo, yo! Check it out.
Little John.
Ow.
Prince John.
More bubbles. Oh, yeah, just now it's happening.
The Sheriff of Rottingham.
I challenge you to a duel. I accept.
Maid Marian.
A chastity belt?
It's an everlast.
And Rabbi Tuckman.
Hello, boys.
He's the first action hero.
And white men can't jump.
And the last word in comedy.
Why should the people listen to you?
Because, unlike some other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Robin Hood. Men in Tights. A Mel Brooks film.
Yes!
The legend had it coming.
Welcome to Meet the Bees!
Mr. Jonathan Pineda!
Representing me, David Zvinovich.
David Zininovich. Actually, it's David Zimmerman, but I'll take the Zininovich. Welcome to Meet the Biz. Yay! Okay, I'm very, this is a very exciting and important day for me. It is really a day full of heart and love. We have a woman here that is, you could keep on saying adjectives that are amazing about her. She's wonderful, she's incredible, she's a powerhouse. The movies she's been in, The Mask, I know, right? She was in Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and I was gonna wear mine today, but it wouldn't have looked pretty. And, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. And I tell you who I'm loving right now. It's this wonderful woman, full of heart and love, Amy Yasbeck!
Naruto, run! What's up?
And everybody, just to let you know, we have interpreters today. We have Kat White. And we have another beautiful woman here.
Lucy Roberts.
Yes! Lucy Roberts.
L-U-C-Y.
Very good.
I'm out.
Now we could use these.
Why are we so far away from each other? You're acting like we don't sleep together.
What? That's okay. No, that's enough. That's enough. I told you I'm the little spoon. How many times do we have to talk about this? What's up, everybody?
What's up? Oh my God, this is fun.
Already.
I know. You bring so much joy to so many people. Yeah. Are you serious?
I get so much joy out of so many people.
Oh.
It's not like I pay it forward. It's not that. So many people, I dated this guy for a while. Who was, I'm not going to say his name. No, look it up. And I would just talk to people on the street and he'd go, Amy, that's a stranger. And I'm like, not now. Do you know what I mean? Because we just talked about her earrings or whatever.
Right.
But it's so hard for me to focus. Well, I have wild ADHD and many other fantastic things. But part of it is I get distracted by people in a good way and stories. And why would I want to go there if I could talk to you, and you you know?
Yeah.
All the flowers in the garden, or something
All the
like that.
flowers in the garden. I like that. That's a good title.
I like it. Sounds like a
So
winner.
I'm going to start from the beginning, I think.
Good
Betty
Lord.
Crocker?
Is my original name. No. When I was 6 years old, actually I cut my own hair this morning too. But my sister had a picture of me. I don't know how they liked this, but my sister had a picture of me with my little self-cut bangs in her wallet. I don't know if girls had wallets in those days because they weren't allowed to have credit cards in their own name. True story, true story. So I was born in 1962. Quick, who can do the math? Yes, I'm going to be 63. Shut up! L'chaim! Mazel. So my sister was a model, and she's 14. Model, you have to do it that way. She's 14 years older than I am, and she's gorgeous. So she was doing a photo shoot for like a local department store, and the photographer was talking to somebody about, because Kenner, which was the big toy company, I don't think Kenner's still around. I think Hasbro bought it. Big oven. No, and so they were looking for a little girl, because of course little boys don't bake, shut up, to be on the box of the Easy Bake Oven that year. And my sister showed them this picture. They're like, yes! And I'm like, what picture did you show them? And so she broke me out of school. I don't think my mom might have even known that we were doing this. She broke me out of school and she told the nuns, yes, explains a lot, that I had a doctor's appointment with Dr. Showbiz. And we went, and like I've heard from all of you or everybody, it's like you can talk so much about, I mean, I didn't have the brain or the wherewithal to like have the perspective of how cool it was, but it was so interesting to me. And then as I look back, like when you're that age, or you see television and products and things from this point of view, you never think like, how does that get made? And sometimes, like sausage, you don't want to know. But it was fascinating because, of course, they didn't make the delicious pies in that little shitty oven. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know what I mean.
I did.
We're gonna have to talk afterwards. That's your book. But I mean, they didn't we used to like open up the packages and do it like Lick-A-Maid. Was Lick-A-Maid? Do you remember Lick-A-Maid?
I love that.
It was like
Fun
a
Dip
pixie
now.
stick.
It's Fun Dip now.
Pixie? Huh?
Fun Dip now.
Fun Dip. Well, that makes it sound like chaw.
It's a little, it's like cocaine.
It was called Lick-A-Maid. But I mean, so I wasn't really like working the oven in real life. It sounds like I'm working the pole. I wasn't really working the oven in real life, but I had to act like, even though I saw somebody making the little things over there, the food designer, which is a job, which would be great.
Right.
Sorry. But I had to be like, ooh, and then they're like, oh, and it's a little bit hot. And I'm like, but it's not hot. They're like, but it's hot. I'm like, ooh. First time, you're playing in the backyard, you're playing with dolls, you're doing stuff, but then there's grown-ups saying, yeah, do that thing that you do with your friends, and let's monetize it. I made $26.
All right.
Drinks on me. No.
Well,
all the waters you can drink.
and it became
Nothing.
It became Days of Our Lives.
Well, I guess I didn't work then for a long time. I was blacklisted for talking about the chef. Just kidding. No, I mean, it wasn't the only thing you would hear about being an actor. I was from Cincinnati. Go Reds. Boo! Bengals.
Yay!
Thank you. It was almost like a pejorative. It was almost like an insult. Like I fell down. It's like, now people say, you're being dramatic. Don't be so dramatic. But what was told to me was, how's it going? Am I talking too fast? Fine. All right. Sign faster. Let's go. It was such a little actress. It wasn't a good thing. Oh, such a little actress. Oh, you're so dramatic. Oh, you're so moody. Okay, I got medicine for that now, but at the time, it was driving people crazy.
Yeah.
But the things that make you different and interesting and even annoying are the things that are good for show business. That persistence, right? And the thinking outside the box. growing up masking whatever you're masking, honestly, to be able to use coping mechanisms that you've used your whole life, not even knowing what that word meant or whatever, but to be able to, you can express that all in. And now there are some things that do F you up, learning lines and things like that, if you have different ways of
How is it
thinking.
learning lines for you? I mean,
Now that I'm going to be 63, no, it's okay.
no, I mean, well, now then, I mean, I've always had trouble memorizing lines. What is your magic for that?
What's interesting is I'm very good at teaching people how to remember their lines. And then they're like, but what's my motivation? I'm like, it doesn't matter, just say the words, which is not how acting really works, I guess. It's been fine for me, although I haven't worked in a minute. But it's the monologues are hard for me. Dialogue is easy for me. Because the other person, even in a scene where it's disjointed, where you're not really answering them, but it's like I always take a clue from what the line was before. A clue and a cue, and it might be something that's in the middle of their line or something that reminds me. The way my brain works, and I've learned this many years of therapy and for learning differences, and which was not called that when I was a kid, as you can imagine. But I do a lot of mnemonic devices where I can't remember what this is, so I'll remember a thing that it reminds me of, and then that's the thing. It tends to slow you down, but it helps when you're learning the words. Also singing the lines, and so you get that little bit of rhythm. But then what's fun with that is then the director goes, no, it's more like, and you're like, that's not how the song goes. If you've, imprinted it in your brain that way. Everybody, I mean, every actor has their own, I think, trick for that.
Well, I mean,
but I remember everything, but I don't memorize it. I can't explain it. Like, I don't know my times tables, but I can tell you kind of a synesthesia thing.
being on a soap opera, though, I mean, you've got a lot of lines in one day, don't you?
Drake Hogeston from Days of Our Lives, who just passed away, he told me, and he had come from baseball. He was I believe he was a pitcher. I'm sorry, that just stopped me because that is how you say picture where I'm from. He was a pitcher. Oh, he was a pitcher. He looked so pretty in a picture. But he screwed up his rotator or whatever and then went, you know what, I'm good looking, let me be an actor. I don't know if that's how it went, but it could have been. And he said to me the first day, okay, here's what we do. We just run the lines all day long. Just run the lines until they lose all meaning. And I'm like, well, in school they said, never mind. And I was like, okay. And we would, because we would have to. And we would just say them to each other, just passing in the hall or something. He would throw out a cue. It was good, because you do not have a lot of time on a soap opera.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
There's not like, let's do a rehearsal. It's like, okay, do it one time through. That's great, except you go here, you do this, don't say that. Actually, you move down camera. The thing about soap operas for me was, I found it so funny because I had seen it parodied so many times, Carol Burnett, and do you know what I mean? That if this is the screen, and there's always that character that comes towards the camera, like on a stage it would be downstage, so they're this big, and then there's people in the background, and they're thinking or sad, and they go, are you okay? Yes! And like that, and it seems corny, works on a soap opera.
Wow.
Because you have to be just like putting it out there all the time. Soap operas might be different now. I don't think so. They're, it's... Say again? Yeah, I mean, they've been around forever for a reason. Now, sometimes, oh my gosh, when Days of Our Lives said, this is our last season on NBC, now we're going to be on Paramount Plus, or Peacock. It was Peacock. My sister Ann, who had watched every episode from the first being ding, doom, ding, doom, ding. It's like, what are we going to do? So, yeah, I splurged. I put her on my account.
You splurged.
I splurged.
Well, we splurged by watching your movies that you've been in. Is there, and your TV shows, Dallas, Wings,
One episode of Dallas.
Pretty Woman, well,
That's all.
and The Mask. Is there?
I know people say, who were you in Dallas? I'm like, I had a broken leg, and because I didn't watch the show, and somehow I fell off. Oh, but you know, I was supposed to be the friend of Jenny Lee Harrison, whoever she played,
Right.
who apparently we were skiing. She fell off a mountain. I don't know whether she came back or what, but I remember Ken Kirchhoff smelled like cigarettes. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I love it. Yes. What about that?
What about what?
The mermaid. How was it playing a mermaid?
Oh, Splash 2?
Yeah.
So funny. So good. And when I think of it, I'll tell you, I have 6 grandkids, and they all dig it so much. Like, what do you mean you were a mermaid? I'm like, well, there was this movie called Splash that I think is inappropriate for children. Yeah. And then Disney Studios wanted to make a TV show of it. Good luck. And so we shot 2 hours, like a movie, and then an hour was shown one Sunday, and the next hour was shown another Sunday on what used to be the Disney, was that 7 or 7:30? It used to be
Right.
Walt Disney would come out and do the thing, and I was the first Sunday night movie back from when Walt used to do it, and it was Michael Eisner, not exactly the same thing, but it was fine. I like him. Go Michael. Go. And so I played Madison the Mermaid, but it was a TV movie. It was so much fun because I've always loved mermaids ever since. Well, ever since. I think the first movie I saw was Peter Pan.
Me too.
How old are you?
I'm 61.
Yes, so that's interesting.
That was the first movie I saw in the theater.
Me too. And
I could fly.
clap your hands. And I love Peter Pan. I love everything about it. But what stuck with me with the kid, as a kid, was there's that mermaid part, and they're all sitting on the rocks. I'm like, they're not wearing tops. What's going on? What's under them seashells? I mean, it was whatever year that was. I should not. But I remember, I was like, is that a real thing? And then as I got older and was a real science nerd, I'm like, wait a minute, they can't swim, they're mammals. And like, have you heard of whales? I'm like, what's happening? So I liked the whole idea of the mermaid lore and stuff. And then my parents took me on a side quest when we were going down to watch rockets at Cape Kennedy, Cape Canaveral, whatever they were calling it at that time, Weeki Wachee Springs, which is in Silver Springs, Florida. And they have the mermaid shows, like, and I was like, what? And I thought they were just so beautiful. And the other thing is, I was, and still am in some ways, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this, what somebody would say, you're a klutz. You're, in that thing of, even in an able-bodied person, if your mind is not in the right place, I've run into more door jams and stuff, and I do that. There's a ADHD thing they talk about. If there's a table sticking out and I'm going from here to there, I don't walk around like this. I get to right here and then I tilt my hip, and it's like to get to A to B. I'm learning a lot of what that was. And mermaids were so graceful, and they didn't have to walk around, and they could swim away real fast. I don't know, I thought it was the best thing in the world. What if I just sprouted a tail right now?
I think you should. Do the move. I identified with Tinkerbell.
No comment.
And I had a crush on Peter Pan. Anyway,
everyone's Peter, or just...
What?
What?
What? Who?
What?
I don't know. Never mind. I have a
Peter
question.
Pansexual. Wow. That's what pansexual means. Means you like Peter Pan.
I like that.
Yeah, made that up.
On the spot.
And I canceled. Hey! When did you guys switch?
Magic.
Impressive. You were in the bullpen over there, and then you just up. Okay. Knuckles. K. No, how's it K? KNUCKLESS. Woo! I spelled nuclear.
Nuclear.
What's that?
I love it. So I'm going to throw out a name to you.
Don't do it.
And see what comes. First thing comes to your mind.
Oh, you don't want to play that game with me. Do you know what's the first thing in my mind?
Oh my God, no. Mel Brooks.
Hot daddy. No. Hot daddy.
Hot daddy.
I adore that man, and the idea I just housed a croissant, and I just burped a little right then. So buttery. But so Mel Brooks, when I auditioned for, so I was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I played Maid Marian. So I was acting before I got there. Virgin? British? What? Big boobs. So everything was fake except for, I guess, my comedic skills, which John helped me prepare for that audition, which was so sweet. And I did a silly thing. If you've ever seen the movie, has anybody seen the movie? Has anybody? Okay, comedy girls, I know you have. But so there's a part where Maid Marian gets out of the bathtub and gets her little robe on, and the little bird gets on her finger. And so, John, that was the scene I auditioned with. So I had props.
Yes.
Oh, this is disgusting. You should be able to print this. I'm not looking. And so I had the thing, and so what I did was, it's not gonna work. So I had the little bird on my finger here, and for the audition, when it flies away, I fluttered like the page like this off camera and like followed it around. I don't know. They liked that part. And then I made up the part about it pooping on me, and they kept it in the movie.
Nice.
Right. I can't see that. I have my reading glasses on, Mr. Giant Font. What is that, about a 26?
Well, I just got these new glasses.
Yeah, they're very pretty.
Thank you, they're blue. I like that. You have the clear ones. I like yours too.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna throw out a name that you mentioned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the man that you talked about,
Mel Brooks, John Ritter.
John Ritter.
Oh yeah. Hot daddy. Hottest daddy of all. Actual daddy to four.
Oh, and what a beautiful family you have.
Thank you.
I love your family.
Listen.
What?
I'm very lucky. They're terrific. They're all actually really, really good human beings. Yeah, kind, and all the things that you would want. And each one of us is in show business in our own ways, large and small. And the greatest compliment, because the greatest compliment of all. Okay. And the greatest compliment is when somebody says, "Oh, you remind me of John," because a lot of people are out there still working. They might have been kids and pulling cable back, not even Three's Company, but on some movie or something. And they're out there, people who knew John, and they are touched by, and of course, everybody's all way too much with Jason. Oh, you look just like him. Tyler does too.
Yeah.
Noah acts just like, it's crazy. But it's really the kind of the spirit you're picking up on, for sure. It's really kind of the spirit you're picking up on of comedy and joy and the humanity of, they love people.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, it shows, and I could see the two of you. I could see how you guys just make a ball of love.
Wow, that's hot.
You both met on.
Cue the jet sound.
Yes.
Hold for plane. Yeah.
You met on Problem Child, right?
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Oh.
Yes, Problem Child, and then we did Problem Child 2, and in between those two, we did the Cosby Show, canceled. And John, that was the first sitcom I had ever been on, so an episode of that, and it was wild. Again, even if you see something that's behind the scenes, when you are on a sitcom set, and before cameras, invented by Desi Arnaz, the 4-camera where they would shoot all at the same time, and the audience is there, so you've got cameras to play to, an audience to react to, and then writers that are going, that's not how I wanted her to say the joke, but I make it better,
Right.
but or whatever. There's so much going on. It's fun to be able to, you got to have those words memorized, for sure, when you're doing a sitcom. I mean, they can go back and pick it up, but you do try to do it as much like a play as possible. And that's my favorite thing to do, is the sitcom thing, because then in between you can like talk to the audience and stuff. I probably wasn't supposed to, but I did.
I saw your clip yesterday on YouTube.
What?
The clip of you as the nurse.
I was young, I needed the money. Now I'm old, I need the money.
I'm like,
Nurse Annie?
nurse, where you were like, I just had my boobs done.
Oh, Designing Women.
Yes. I loved it.
Nurse Tiffany?
Oh, that was so
I just had my
hysterical.
boobs done. Oh, that was so weird, but it was great. Go ahead, what's her name?
I'm blanking.
Hal Holbrook's wife, whose name was Dixie Carter.
Oh, yes!
Did you see how I had to do that? I couldn't think of Dixie Carter, I do that part like quietly and quickly.
No, this was a training session of how to memorize.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Do your own thing, bro. I have no idea.
I don't know.
What else?
What else?
Don't look at your notes. Don't look at your notes.
Okay, I won't look at the notes.
Okay.
Evening of the Heart.
Wrong.
No? Evening from the Heart.
Yes, and you know why we call it that?
Why?
So I'll talk about the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health. John passed away, sadly, from a misdiagnosed aortic dissection, which is not your heart, it's the part that comes. You just said it, from the heart.
From the heart.
That's why it's called Evening from the Heart,
Yeah.
okay? Because sometimes when you're trying to explain a new concept to the world, you go with what you know, which is heart, and then you put a little thing on it. Because if it was called Evening from my Aorta, they'd be like, no, thank you, that doesn't sound. But that's what it's about, bringing awareness to this thing that can happen that very often imitates a heart attack, and people are misdiagnosed all the time.
What's the difference between the aortic dysfunction and a heart attack?
Aortic dissection.
Dissection.
Stop being an expert, look at you.
She's an expert.
Here's the thing. So, if you picture where your heart is, quick, next, get up here. Are you the science interpreter? Why did you go back? I really want you a little closer.
You know, we're not going to let you leave, by the way.
That's fine.
You're doing.
Hold my hand. Let's see if you can do it with one hand. Point where your heart. Oh, okay. Look at me. I want to show you something. This is where your heart is. Your aorta is shaped like a big candy cane. It comes up from your heart and then down all the way through this. This part, when you're learning your breathing and singing, they say sing from your diaphragm, so it's that big muscle like right in the middle. The aorta goes kind of through it, kind of a little bit behind it. The part from here to here is called thoracic, right? And this part is called abdominal. Makes sense. There are such things as abdominal aneurysms, where you get like a widening, like almost like a bubble in your lower aorta. That is dangerous, but very studied, very common. There's medicine for it, and it mostly happens to men. So there's been a lot of research for it, not to get all, I burned my bra, but I'm not wearing one. Anyway.
I am.
Burn your bra, burn my bra. So this part, the thoracic one, way less studied, because before there were so many different modalities of like imaging, like a this and a that and a CT and stuff. People would have chest pains, they would die, and this is how Tex Ritter, John and Tom Ritter's dad, died, and they would put it in the cardiac category. They go, oh, that was a heart attack.
They said my mother had a
Heart attack?
She had a cancer on her throat.
So there's a lot of things that might like imitate the same kind of feelings and stuff. I'm sorry about your mom. But this thing, it's in that. So your throat is here, your aorta is kind of next to it, right? So some genetic things can happen where there's like a misspelling and there's a mutation in your genes. So the muscles, the cells that make up the muscles don't really react the way they're supposed to. And so they can expand. This is thoracic, and you would have an aneurysm, and it pulls apart the layers, because your aorta is made up of 3 layers, like a garden hose, but that's about the size it's supposed to be. If the inside layer tears a little bit from being stretched or some other thing, blood that's coming from your heart, because that's what your aorta does. Your heart can be in perfect condition, and if your heart's in perfect condition, but it's pumping the blood that's then going to be given everywhere to the rest of your body and your brain, if that blood is going up into a tube that then has like a little side pocket to it, then it starts to go inside the layers instead of the blood going where it needs to be. That's the dissection part, that little bit of tear in between the layers. Very, very deadly. They've been happening since the beginning of time. People used to always just think it was a heart attack, so they didn't get studied very much. We know now, because people find these kind of aneurysms when they're going in for their insurance, like their work insurance or something, and they're like, well, hold on. And I have been working since John passed away in 2003 to bring awareness that it's even a thing, to be able to, when you go in an emergency room and you have chest pain, to be able to, you know how you have to advocate for yourselves. And there are some people that are more invisible than other people with disabilities, people whose skin color is darker than a paper bag. It's like you get looked over. Women, it happens. And so to go in, especially if somebody's like, yeah, you look like you're in pain already, I'm not gonna listen to you. Or you look like you're drug seeking, or maybe it's just cramps, F you. You have to be able to advocate for yourself. So people need to say, please check my aorta. They're like, yeah, your heart looked fine. It's like, did you look at my aorta? Okay? And sadly, John did not have any of that happen to him. They looked at him, he had the chest pain, and they're like, sir, you are having a heart attack. A different kind of prejudging, prejudice. He's 55-year-old, a little bit overweight, sexy dude, and they're like, heart attack. And then they just treated him for that, including blood thinners. So if you can imagine, a heart attack is a block in this muscle, your heart, and an aortic dissection is a tear in a completely different thing. So the idea that would happen to somebody else, not just my family, but as we're taught in every religion, everybody is kind of your responsibility. If you see something, say something. Knowledge is power, all that. So I did it on my own for a really long time, and started this foundation. And now there's a CEO and a thing, and we've funded $1.5 million of genetic research, which is really important. And so once a year we have an event called Evening from the Heart. And Evening from the Heart LA, we've been doing it in May, but because of, sadly, the fires and everything, because we were planning it at the beginning of the years when we planned it, I'm like, I'm not about to ask anybody to do anything but hunker down and help their actual neighbor right now. And so we pushed it a little bit, and we made a special kind of outreach to those people in the fires who might have lost their medicine and that kind of stuff. And so, but we're doing it this year on September 12th, which is
Friday, September 12th.
My birthday, fired! Which is my birthday. Did you know that?
Happy birthday.
Not yet. Calm down.
Happy weekend too.
So, you got it. That wasn't why we did it on that day, but because that is Aortic Dissection Awareness Week, which is something I started along with a bunch of people like worldwide. And this year we're doing a celebrity staged reading of a Three's Company episode. I can't tell you the cast yet, but I will tell you, none of my kids are in it. They're like, no, thank you. They love it, but it's going to be really fun. So we're doing that to raise some money. And if you want to check it out, go to johnritterfoundation.org and check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing there. I have to...
Hold on 1 second. How do you say check it out? Like a check mark? Do you have to say check it out, or just like check means check it out?
Oh, okay.
Check.
I'm busy working.
Did I mention that I get distracted in a good way? But I want to know. I want to learn some of it. Check it out.
I'll teach you later.
You will?
Yes.
I love it.
I'm
Yeah.
busy
Yeah.
working. Let me finish doing my work, and then we'll teach you.
All right.
I want to...
Okay.
It's
This is
very
important.
interesting.
You're blocking my communication with my client.
I'm sorry, clients. Go ahead. Do you also, when the jet goes by, do you think?
How do you make the jet sound?
It's a big jet. Go on, jet.
This is happening at a very interesting time.
Meaning?
Having you here because
What's up?
I got in town last week and I felt pressure in the chest and went to the hospital.
Don't be a drama queen. Don't draw it out. He's fine. Now tell the story.
I'm fine.
That's like when somebody calls you from back home if you live out
But-
here and they're like, "Are you sitting down?" Yeah. Okay, cuz. And I'm like, just for
Let me
God's
tell
sake.
you this 4-hour story.
Go ahead.
No, but thanks. I mean, one of the people I called, of course, I said, hey, I just want to let you know I might not be there because of I'm going through this issue with the heart. And she said, well, you know who I am. And
Do you know who I am?
don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
And she brought such comfort and
Thank you.
security and love to me because, you know, you get into that situation where you're at the third day and you're going, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Because 11 years ago, I had a massive heart attack.
I had no idea.
Yep.
And I went to the hospital in the morning. I had pressure in the chest. I said, take me to Cedars, and they took me to this other hospital. 3 hours
Where did
later,
they take you?
Olympic.
Good Lord.
They sent me home. Oh, it's not your heart. So I went home. Later that night, I was not feeling good. Called my doctor. He said, go to Cedars. I went to Cedars. They did the same 3 tests. Oh,
Sorry.
for water.
I'm a little parched.
A little parched.
That's going to squirt all over you, as they say in show business.
Okay, I got a
Thank
little
you.
wet.
Easy. That's all right. That's just me.
As I get electrocuted now.
I can only help. So you went to Cedars.
Went to Cedars, and they did the same 3 tests, and they said, Mr. Zimmerman, you've had a heart attack today. I went, I was just at the...
That was 11
May-
days ago. That was 11 days ago.
That was, what?
I mean, 11 years ago.
11 years ago. So they did the same 3. So I went in there. I said I was just at the hospital. I mean, so I was there for 4 days. They went in there. My troponin level was up to 200.
Tell them what that means.
Troponin level is the measurement of
The damage to your heart.
disturbance and damage.
It's a
Yeah.
blood test.
And it's supposed to be under, or back then it was under 0.02, and mine was 200.
Wow.
So I was like, and it was amazing though, knock wood. Right. I got through it, and for 6 months I was exhausted. I couldn't do anything. I was thinking, is this how I'm going to be? But I got through it. I went through cardio, and I'm here. So it's interesting.
You're clearly used to it. And then a couple days ago, there were shades and shadows of that, and you were wildly brilliant to go to the hospital where you knew that you would be safe, because not only do you know how to advocate for yourself, but I was cheering you on and texting you, and then I came over for a bit and talked to your nurse and stuff. And you've got to be able to advocate for yourself in every situation, and it's very tricky.
And it's so weird too, because I've been feeling pretty good over the last 6-7 years.
It's not. They told you it's nothing. You need to stop worrying about it.
Okay. I'm slightly neurotic. But you know, after I had my heart attack, I said cautious instead of neurotic.
No, but you are. But you did the right thing. If you have chest pains, don't wait.
Yeah.
Guys, don't wait. But do not go out of there if you go in there with chest pains or anything. And for women, it's a little bit different symptoms for heart attack, but for aortic dissection. And just say, hey, I'm not leaving the hospital until you check me for that John Ritter thing. They'll know. I sued them a little bit. They'll know.
How about this one? If you can't breathe, what do you do if you can't breathe that good?
That's a very good question. Sometimes, if you know that you have an issue, you have
I have asthma.
Yeah, you sometimes need a medical bracelet, or what I do is if people know that genetically, or maybe they've had an aortic repair and they have that, if they can't breathe or they feel fainty and they take an Uber or whatever in, they have them write it out. And so the first thing they do is like look at your wallet, and it's like, do not treat me for a heart attack before you check and see if my aorta is aneurysmal or dissecting. Good question. What up? You feel good now, though.
I
right?
feel good now. This morning I rented a car this week, but I'm Ubering it because I don't feel like driving. And they said don't lift anything, over 25 pounds. But
Come here.
what?
I'm gonna fix your tie. It's going on cattywampus. Here, put it like that. Okay, now.
This is the way she
Get up,
is.
sit
This
back.
is
Sit back, sit
so
back.
loving.
So judgmental, so OCD. Go! How's that, better? Was it driving you crazy? Was that just me? Who noticed that his tie was... You noticed. You noticed.
Just you.
No, not just me.
Oh, that guy.
I
The
know.
back, the camera guy.
Go ahead. I say that now, I don't even know what's going on all up here.
Tell us about the big game.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Or should I not?
Oh, I made a movie, independent movie in Tampa,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. It's so weird. It goes all different places. Somehow, all of my movies end up in ultraviolence. Maybe it's just me, but it's a movie kind of about about the big game, and the big game is between, I'm going to get it wrong, Florida and Florida. So it's FSU and FU? No, what's it called? I don't know what it's called. Florida State. Yeah, well, I should know because the whole script was about that, and it's about game day and watching the game, but something crazy happens, and the guy who's throwing the watching party, who's played by Joel Murray, who's Bill Murray's baby brother, 9 out of 9, 9 of 9. That's actually, if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's called 9 of 9. But his wife has passed away in the other room from, I guess, aspirating because she was drunk the night before. I'm telling the whole story.
Oh.
That happens very close to the beginning. And he is in denial of it, and he dissociates, and so he just closes the door and keeps telling people she doesn't feel well, and kind of has, but you see him, like as the day goes on, it starts to like really dawn on him, and then he has to like hide stuff. And I'm the Snoopy biatch that figures it out. It's kind of the role I always play.
Well, and that's why we love you.
Aw, thanks.
That's one of the many reasons.
Aw, thanks, David.
This is a question that I took a class from Corey Allen, and we're actually doing...
Really?
Corey Allen?
Yeah.
Rebel Without a Cause?
Oh,
Yeah.
he directed.
He did?
Me in something. Well, what did he direct? Something. I just remember suave and a gray speckly beard, so sexy.
He started as an
I'm
actor,
bad at
went to
number 3.
directing. Star Trek, he cast,
I wish it was.
Next Generation, yeah.
So what did he say?
Well, at the beginning of class, he would always ask everyone as the plane goes over.
I like
it's
it.
Corey. Hi, Corey.
Hi, Corey.
The question was, what do you want the most at this moment in your life?
Oh. Why did he ask you that? That's horrible.
Well, you would start with that, and you
Now
would use it in your work for the night.
Oh no. All my work would have chocolate-covered biscotti all over it. That's my new thing. I get obsessed with food.
White chocolate, dark chocolate, no chocolate.
I don't know. I don't see it long enough. Ugh. Delicious chocolate.
Yeah. So, what do you want? Chocolate biscotti?
No, I have enough of that. What do I want? Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you why I turn on the news every day. I'm hoping that everybody kind of comes to their senses. I hate to say it like that, but I've been around a long time. I was a kid of the Vietnam War, Nixon, and right now, and maybe, and yes, in some ways it comes from the top, but the other thing is, somehow a lot of people have decided it's okay to hate each other, and I know it's fomented by politics and the top, but like it's the opposite of what you do here. It's like you don't know what's going on with people, and the idea of, I mean, I was raised Catholic, and I've taken away from it what I've taken away from it, which is, you know, the greatest commandments, and love one another, and take care of those who are brand new here, running away from something. Open your house. I'm also Lebanese. Yeah. And it's like,
Hot.
you see somebody, do you say hot?
Oh, yeah.
You're right, you know. If you know, you know. The other half is Irish, so weep. But it works well. But it's the idea of hospitality doesn't just mean giving somebody food when they walk to your house, but seeking people out who are in distress for their bodily needs, their spiritual needs. And I see it one-on-one, but when I see like kind of what's going on everywhere, it's like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I thought that I in any way contributed to scaring people that they're going to be yanked out of this country or any country, or that they don't have the food to feed their children. What I want, I mean, how basic is this? World peace, bitches. Yeah. Peace of spirit, peace of, and I know that it's the human condition to be at war even with yourself or to have those battles. But I just need the tide. I need the arc of justice to start bending towards, the arc of history to bend towards justice and caring for each other. And I don't know, in my lifetime, I hope to see kind of a rebirth of
love.
Real love. Not even love of, not even like love of country or love of this, but the actual like humanity, loving each other, realizing we're all the same. Especially part of ours being the same as we've all got our battles, all got this. But to be able to have to be really battling in a war and not just starving for attention, but starving. Like these things are front and present all the time. And everybody's like, don't watch the news. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
No way, man. There might be something in there that inspires something. Not that I can change everything, but I might be able to talk to somebody who has, I don't even want to say on the other side of the fence, there shouldn't be a fence.
Yeah.
But I mean somebody on the, who isn't like getting it. And I know like they used to get it. Remember like when we went to church? Remember when the nuns would go, oh, we're going down to Selma to walk. And it's like that kind of stuff, that kind of radical love and radical activism. I love it. But also chocolate biscotti. What?
Now I know what to get you for your birthday. Huh?
World peace.
I love
Dipped
it.
in chocolate.
And we're all feeling stressed throughout all this, and we're all seeing what can we do. And today I walked in here. I haven't been here in a long time, and all of a sudden I walked in and the overflowing of love.
Yeah, no, I felt it. I was
Isn't
jumping
that
up.
Great?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just, and I go, oh yeah, this is what it's like. This is what the world is supposed to be like.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody feels safe here. You don't
It's a
feel like you're
family.
going to be. I know, but you know what? It's the safety of knowing. I mean, look, we're all human. We could be like, where did you get those shoes? Whatever, that kind of judging. But to judge someone's worth, don't get me started. About, do they pay taxes? Do they do this? Do they do that? Don't freaking start me. Everybody is worthy of love and a solid place in this world, right?
Amen.
Yes.
I'm cured.
Hey, Amy Yasbeck.
Yeah, I like the way you say my name. Where are you from?
I am from Northern California, but some people think I'm from New York, and
Nobody thinks you're from New York.
Oh.
Way too nice. Just kidding. I love New York. The town's so nice they named it twice.
Twice. You're here today, and thank you so much for being here. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to have a Q&A. So if you have some questions that you have
If
coming
you've got Q's, I've got A's.
there you go. So 5-minute break. If you have to pee or whatever else,
We say tinkle.
tinkle.
Yeah, I do.
If you have to tinkle,
Who grew up where parents said tinkle?
tink.
Is that just, and then P, I don't like P.
Tinkle, tinkle, little star.
You're making me have to go. I'm very suggestible and very suggestive.
All right. Everyone, Amy Yasbeck!
Tinkle.
the hope of the future.
You two really must have a lot of fun together.
Yeah, these little rascals really make life worth living.
But Ben and Flo have a problem.
Are you absolutely sure there's no hope?
Oh, none whatsoever.
Florence, why can't we adopt?
Okay, let's get a kid.
Okay, you want a little baby. Well, old babies are little. It's no problem there. Just this morning, I came upon a 7-year-old. Smart as a tack. A little rambunctious. But weren't we all at that age?
Oh, he does look very presentable in that little bow tie.
He's evil.
That's a wicked mind. Look what he did in art class. Skeletons,
Headless corpses.
No, please, don't hyperventilate. Either Junior goes or you find yourself some new nuns.
Hey, we must have gotten the pick of the litter. Look, everyone's come out to see him off. I would like to proudly present the newest member of the Healy family, Junior.
He's got the face of an angel. It's the devil.
I hope you guys are insured.
He's got a special way with pets.
poor fuzzball. She'll never be the same.
He's got the keys to the car.
My new car! Now!
Maybe all the child needs is to be loved.
We've adopted Satan.
You took him, he's yours! That's because you condescend to him! What am I supposed to do with the little creep? He's already been returned 30 times!
He's mad. He's bad. He's 7.
I'm gonna be 8 in 2 weeks.
Don't count on it. John Ritter.
Here's Daddy!
Problem Child.